We were there for an hour or so. Nothing unusual. Until we both saw someone or something crouched on a table. First off, a little weird someone else being in the same park at this time. But what's creepy AF is that this person was crouching on top of a fucking table. He wasn't even sitting on the bench. What really fucked me up was, because I didn't look away, I kept looking closer, I noticed that there were wings. The body was completely human but had fucking wings. The part that I'll never forget. All of a sudden the most blood-curdling scream, like a woman being stabbed to death, but it sounded like a woman but unhuman at the same time. Like a scream that a normal person doesn't do, but a scream animals can't even make. Almost like those screams in a movie that a demon or something makes. Then it just stands up and this fucker has to be 8 foot tall, minimum. We both ran as fast as we could. Have you ever ran to your lungs' max capacity? I ran until I had no air left in my lungs and then kept running until I had to slow down because I was coughing too much. We knocked on PPLS doors and kept getting threatened that they have guns and will shoot if we don't leave. We were literally locked outside with this thing. I kept looking into the sky because this reminded me of Jeepers Creepers the movie. After maybe 20 minutes, the police show up and of course think we're on drugs. But wanted to let us go. I walked the rest because I lived a few blocks away. The police drove my friend home. There was a white cop and a Mexican cop. When the Mexican cop heard the story, he pretended like it's just made up, but the look on his face said he knows something about this thing that nobody knows. I have PTSD now and hate going outside alone at night, especially near parks or the woods. Weird PPL don't really scare cops. Animals don't really scare cops, but you know it was something much worse if a cop lies and can't keep a straight face because of fear. Like I said, it's a story that happened and I remember clear as day. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, my sisters and I used to share a room. Most nights my older sister and I would see 2 distinct figures. She would see a lady in white standing in the doorway, directly in front of my bed. I would see a man with red eyes, or at least I thought it was a man, as all I could see were red eyes. Though my sister could see the lady, she said she never spoke to her, she just stood there getting closer every night. While I on the other hand would see a pair of bright red eyes staring at me from the closet. A disembodied masculine voice would whisper, "JJ, come to the closet and play." Over and over. Sometimes my older sister and I would jump in each other's beds and hide under the blankets until morning. This was going on for months until my dad decided to get the house blessed again. We never saw them after that. I'm 24 now. My wife and I recently had a baby. I've been having weird dreams recently. They would always start with me standing in my son's room, staring at the closet, and the familiar set of red eyes would stare back at me. My most recent dream he actually spoke, his voice a lot deeper and booming than I remember. "You didn't come play with me, but your son may be the one to play," he said before I woke up. I called my dad and told him about the whole thing. He told me he remembers me telling him about that man years before. But then, just then, he went silent for about 5 minutes. When he spoke again, he recounted seeing the same figure as a child. He also told me he remembered having the same dream after I was born. I've blessed my house twice already, but I can only protect my son so much. I just hope, I really hope, that he doesn't go play in the closet. I may never see him again. We moved into a house when I was about 10. We had plenty of friends in the neighborhood and we had the biggest yard, so our house was like a revolving door. A few of our friends would stay at our house often because they enjoyed the creepy stuff that happens. One thing all of us agreed on is that we always had an uneasy feeling walking up the stairs. We couldn't walk up the stairs because you'd always get a sudden rush of terror, like something was there chasing you. Some of our friends made jokes it was because of the ghost. When I turned 15, I started dating a boy named T. One day he came over and the whole family decided to do a movie night. T and I sat by the door that gave you a whole full view of the stairs. The rest of the family was on the other side where they wouldn't have been able to see. During the movie, T asked why we didn't have my little brother watching it with us. I was the second oldest of 7, so if you seen a kid, it wasn't out of the ordinary. I looked over at my 3 brothers sitting next to my mom and told him where they were. His face went white. I'll always remember how fast his face turned into a sunken white mask almost. I got worried and tried getting him to talk. He said he's gone. I said, who's gone? T's voice started shaking. He was right there. There was a little boy on the stairs staring at me. Where did he go? I didn't know what to say. We were both at a loss of words. A couple weeks later, a couple of my friends came over after school and they all said they seen a boy on the stairs following me. None of my brothers were there. I am now 25. My parents still live in that house, and I still have to run up the stairs like that 15-year-old girl because I know he's still there.